Now I'm Rita Miles and I'm with Charlotte's theme. We have Charlotte Fashion Week coming up September 10th through the 14th, and we're so excited. We have alliances with the MIM Museum, McCall, Maginot, Beckler Museum of New South, the City of Charlotte, the Mayor, the Senator, the Governor. I could go on, but why do I? So it's charlottefashionweek.com, and we hope that you're in our seats or on our runway. Let's begin the show. Siobhan Jones is with Siobhan Jones. Come on up. This beautiful collection that you're going to see tonight, she's going to describe each piece. So wonderful. Tell the company that you're with and why you got started.
Hello. I want to thank all of you for being here, because if it wasn't for you, I would not be standing here right now. So thank you. You guys are a blessing to me. I'm very appreciative, and I could ramble, so I'm going to continue on.
Please go.
So my name's Siobhan, and my boutique is called Krystyna'S Treasures. It's actually named after my mother, who has since passed. I grew up in a world of poverty, so I grew up in vintage. And when life got better, she opened a store, taught me everything I know, and unfortunately I lost her. I decided to carry on her legacy. I renamed the shop, hence the Krystyna'S, and everything I know I owe to her. She's my inspiration. The 1920s brought about a change in our fashion industry. Our hemlines got shorter, our waistlines were dropped, and softer fabrics like silk and chiffon became all the rage. This is an authentic 1920s dress. It has a very simple scoop neckline. It's a lovely semi-sheer pink chiffon with the lace for ornamentation. While it appears simple, it was a very common staple of the everyday wardrobe. This is being worn by the lovely Ansley. And now the 1930s. The 1930s brought back the waistline and longer hemlines. The dresses being worn by the Hollywood stars became in high demand, and designers found themselves thrown into a world of mass production. This lovely 1930s dress is a rose-colored rayon material and is being worn by the lovely Melissa. It embodies true Hollywood glam and femininity. Also, on her left wrist, she is wearing an authentic white rhinestone bracelet from the 1930s. The 1940s, World War II. Fabrication caused hemlines to rise, waistlines to get smaller, and of course, the pinup. The men fighting the war embraced the female figure, and the pinup girl, of course, was born. Lauren's wearing a lovely Catalina bathing suit. It's in a silk, and it has a ruched back for the fit. The reason this was done with all the rationing, elastic was very hard to come by, so they made the most of everything that they had. At the end of the 1940s, when the war was starting to end and rationing let up, elastic was actually introduced into our fabrics. Nikki is wearing a Catalina bathing suit. It's in a lovely rose color. It's a rayon. It has an elastic infused into the fabric, and that's what gives the suit a former fit, and also the introduction of zippers. Since they didn't have to worry about them going towards the war movement, they were able to go into fashion. 1950s, Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. Christopher is wearing a typical 1950s Hawaiian look. It's an actual authentic shirt out of Hawaii. That's a time period piece. The rolled-up pants were very common, as were the no socks. We can thank great legends for that. There's too many to name. Honestly, all it needs is a martini glass and it would be all set. Going back a little bit, Christian Dior introduced in 1947 a new look. It symbolized hope, and by the 1950s, his style was embraced. Unfortunately, the dress is not a Dior, but it definitely is a reflection of his taste and his style. This is a lovely hand-tailored couture wiggle dress. There's no maker's label, but all the ribbon work that's sewn onto it is actually done by hand. It's all hand crimped and hand sewn. It's absolutely lovely. I think it's a look that would definitely be approved by the greats Dior and Coco. If anyone hasn't guessed, I am a big bathing suit person. So the 60s were a very transitional period for fashion. While the 50s influence remained, new designers from Europe were introducing new looks and concepts in fashion. The great Italian designer Pucci introduced the love of psychedelic colors and emboldened our fashion palette. This is a lovely 1960s SIOBHANN by Miami bathing suit, and lovely Elizabeth is wearing it. And it is a zipper back. In fact, zipper backs really did remain in until about 1970s, when we really started to get into elastic and all different types of teeny weeny bikinis.